I'm Joe Gigliotti, PhD, and I am your guide for this journey you are about to embark on. Now, to survive here in this generation, you're going to have to know a few things. Come along for the ride. I will show you how to live. Another edition of How to Live. I'm your host, Joe Gigliotti, teacher, professor extraordinaire, your guide for this tour of this generation, and I'm a PhD. Today's episode is all about how to do chores. We all have to do them, or at least we should, and we have to pull our weight around and just do our part. And that is the focus of our first lesson of this chores-themed episode. Do your part. Do your part.
Okay, Dad?
All right, Howard. Here goes another strip. Careful.
Okay. Put her on straight, Dad.
How is it down there?
Could you turn it just a little bit? There, that's it.
All right, now we'll brush it on. Howard, hand me that brush, will you?
Okay, but hold still. There you are.
Thanks.
Hi. That's gorgeous.
Pop! We eat.
Oh, Martha, you're an angel.
Well, it's to be expected, isn't it? Say, aren't you going to wash your hands?
All right. All right. Why, how lovely.
Glad you like it. Hold on just a minute. I'm nearly through with this strip.
Who would have thought we'd ever manage to redecorate this room and do all the work ourselves?
I'll get it. Hello? Oh, yes, Mrs. Burton. Just a minute. Mother, it's Mrs. Burton about the neighborhood club meeting.
Thank you. Hello, Mrs. Burton. You go ahead and eat. I've been wanting to talk to you. Couldn't the club meet here next month? Oh, you wouldn't know our place. What a difference.
Yes, what a difference. That's a theme song at the Taylor home these days. And there is a big difference. Not only in the home, but in the family, too. To see how the Taylors came to change their home and their home life together, let's go back to another time Mrs. Burton called, some months ago.
Hello? Oh, Mrs. Burton. Well, Mother isn't well. Oh, no, just run down. Tired out, I guess. The neighborhood club? Well, I'll ask her if she wants to join. I know she'd like to, but she never seems to have time for clubs or anything, even when she's well. But I can see why now. We're having simply a terrible time. Very disorganized and trying to do all the work, Dad, Howard, and I. But I'm getting some good ideas from my home ec book. Did you know it says... Oh, certainly, Mrs. Burton. I'll tell her you called. Goodbye. Now, let's see. General cleaning is made much easier if each person picks up after himself. Cleaning. pick up after yourself. Yes. If Dad put his coat away, or if Howard didn't leave dirty glasses sitting around, or if Martha put the newspaper away when she was through with it, yes, then it might be possible to keep the room clean. But jobs such as vacuuming, dusting, and scrubbing must be done. They sure must. No wonder Mother's all worn out and sick. I don't know how she does it all. Uh-oh. More work to be done. Repairing, cleaning, cooking. Now, home is a lot of work. Just plain work.
What a bunch of trouble, trying to do all this work around the house. I was never cut out to be a cook.
Here, let me.
Oh, gee, thanks, sis.
When Mom's sick, we're going to have to help each other. Now, take a look at what I've been reading.
What? When work at home is planned and organized for cooperation, there can usually be more time for leisure. Hey, sis, maybe we should get organized.
Good idea.
Let's try it. You can take some jobs, and Dad'll help, and I'll take some jobs. Then maybe we can get our work done.
Good. Cooking.
Cooking. That's what we've been doing. And now you're well, Mom. But we're going to keep right on helping you around the house. It'll make a big difference to you, too. And we've been learning to do all sorts of things around the house. Why, do you know that Dad can fry bacon without burning it now?
Right.
And here, it's all organized. I don't clean house anymore. That's women's work.
Well, now, Howard, Mother's illness was an emergency, and we all had to pitch in and help. But now, and for the future, don't you think we better assign jobs on a better basis, who has the time and the ability, rather than whether it's a man's job or a woman's job?
What am I to do under this new plan now that we're organized?
You sit and rest.
You just take it easy.
Martha, may I borrow your home ec book for a moment?
Certainly, Mom.
I've been doing some reading, too. Now, let's see, page 231. Father's main work is away from home. This is true also of the children, who must spend most of their day in school. So, much of the housework falls on Mother. So let's include Mother. Now, suppose I break down the big regular jobs on a new list. Of course, some of our work at home is pretty obvious. Each one of us ought to pick up after himself.
We should clean our own rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Since I've been taking care of my room myself, I can find things.
I'll clean up the bathroom after I shave.
Where there won't be too many stockings hanging around. That's the idea. Each of us picks up after himself. And in addition, has regular jobs, family jobs. That will help me a great deal.
We'll do it. I'll help with the cooking and house cleaning and that sort of thing, too. But there are a lot of odd jobs that don't seem ever to get done. Like fixing the lampshade or polishing the silver. Who's going to do those?
We all have spare time. Let's make a list of all the odd jobs around the house. Then, when anyone has any spare time, he can just go to the list and take on a project.
Super.
I like that.
Well, let's begin.
What's first on the list?
So that's how the Taylors organized their work at home plan. Their ideas helped their family. See how many would help your family. Each one looked after his own room and helped more with his own clothes. And the Taylors had individual responsibilities for family jobs. And there were the odd jobs, which anyone could do in spare time. So the Taylors organized and did the many jobs which are part of running a home. But there was a bigger lesson they were learning, unconsciously learning. a lesson in planning and working together.
Does anybody want to make a new cover for this shade?
I guess I could make a lampshade.
I'm taking the frame to school tomorrow to solder.
School. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Look, I have a major sewing project to work up for home ec, and I want to do something big this time. Maybe a slipcover for the Davenport. Do you think I could?
Oh, well, that's a wonderful idea, Martha. And we'll find money for the materials somewhere in the budget.
We cover the Davenport and fix up that lamp. It's going to show these walls up pretty badly.
Maybe you're right. It is kind of dirty. It's time we redecorated this room.
Ouch. I don't think the family budget can pay for a decorator.
Does it have to? The Millers papered their own dining room and painted the woodwork. I bet we could do that, too.
Why not?
We could borrow the tools from Ed Miller. Then we'd only have to pay for the paper and paint.
You know, I'm glad I joined the neighborhood club. Mrs. Burton knows a lot about interior decorating, and I think she could give me some ideas.
And we could pick out our wallpaper and slipcover material and everything.
You know, this is beginning to be quite a family project.
It certainly is.
Of course, this is more than a story of wallpaper and slipcovers. It's a story of improvements in the Taylors themselves, for they are a far happier and better family since they learned to share the work at home.
All right, welcome back. Now that you've learned how to do your part, pulling your weight around the house, it's time to learn another very important lesson when it comes to doing chores. There are many cleaning products available out there to do chores or other products to not necessarily cleaning, but other products that you have to use. And one there's one to keep in mind, and that's to not clean with gasoline. Do not clean with gasoline.
Every year, thousands of persons are killed and millions of dollars in damage is done through pure carelessness in the home. Here are some of the commonest causes of fires and accidents. Yes, many of us do this on chilly mornings, but jumping out of an airplane is safer. Another thing, always shut the gas off at the pipe valve, too. Gas hose and hose connections often leak. Permanent connections are better. You heard of the ostrich burying its head in the sand so it can't see danger. Fuse plugs are the safety valves of your electrical system. To place pennies behind them is to remove that safety factor. Fire is the certain result. Keep lamp cords in plain sight. Then you can see when they're worn out. Yes, it still occurs in some of our best families, and it's nearly always fatal. This is often as sure and as effective as the electric chair. Burn rubbish in an approved incinerator. Combustible dust mixed with air is highly explosive. Wrapped in paper, it can be burned safely. Have you one of these in your home? Open paint buckets, oil-soaked rags, just the dish for spontaneous combustion. people know of the fire hazards of gasoline and other flammable fluids, but have not grasped the complete picture of the dangers involved. The woman using gasoline in her kitchen or elsewhere in the home with a false idea of economy does not fully realize the true high explosive character of a mixture of air and gasoline vapor. On the other hand, in dry cleaning establishments such as this, which have been licensed by the state, all work is under the supervision of men who are familiar with the properties of gasoline and experienced in fire prevention precautions. All garments to be cleaned are placed in one of these cylindrical metal washers. The gasoline or solvent is stored many feet underground in fireproof tanks. When needed, just the right amount, clean and filtered, is pumped into the washer. The housewife, however, keeps her whole supply unprotected beside her. She is subject to distractions by other domestic duties during the time she is dry cleaning, and others, even her children, are exposed to this unnecessary peril. Fire inspectors constantly check state-controlled dry cleaning plants to see that fire safeguards are in good working order. All machinery and metal parts are grounded to water pipes against vagrant currents and static electricity. Even interior metal parts are grounded with heavy copper wire. This fusible link melts at 160 degrees and closes the washer door. When this one melts, the weight drops, automatically opening a dump valve in the bottom of the washer. The solvent is instantly drained safely into the underground tanks, removing the danger. But what chance has the housewife without these safeguards? These overhead steam outlets are operated from an outside valve, filling the room with live steam to smother the fire. If an explosion occurs, these roof hatches open automatically to relieve the force. All lights are controlled by outside switches to avoid the danger from an electric arc. Electric lights are under vapor-proof globes. Fire extinguishers are plainly marked with the date of last filling. Again, the fusible link coupling is brought into use, this time to hold fireproof doors open against gravity. A pull on this valve releases steam into the washer room. But where are the steam valves here? Heavy vapors are drawn through the roof by an air duct. However, fire shuts this draft off. Here, fresh air is admitted to help carry off the vapors. Asbestos blankets placed outside each building provide protection for the workers. In this dry tumbler, suction fans withdraw the solvent vapors and expel them safely. Should the improbable happen, despite these precautions, the explosion would only force the hatches open against the valve lever, and presto, the tumbler is flooded with fire-smothering steam. But still no protecting steam for the housewife. Fires are extremely rare in state-supervised cleaning plants. However, should one occur, here's how these safeguards work. All doors close automatically. Live steam, deadliest foe of fire. Surrounded by dangers, the room slowly filling with flammable vapor, which even a tiny spark will explode. Fire on the stove. Flames under the water heater. Even if she does her cleaning outdoors, there is still the greatest danger of all, the invisible menace of static electricity. Don't run. That fans the blade. That's it. Wrap her up. Wait, not over her head. She'll inhale the flames. Another run for the fire department. Each year answering thousands of such calls. Every day, ambulances pick up victims of gasoline fires. What grim message awaits behind the panels of this silent door? Even doctors, all too familiar with pain and suffering, are touched by the needlessness of such a scene as this. But what of the other victims of this useless tragedy? The anxious father, the bewildered children, motherless perhaps. No, fortunately, not in this case, but their pretty mother, withered and scarred for life.
You've thrown all the gasoline out of the house, at least for doing chores purposes, it's time to learn another important lesson. That next important lesson, you have to keep your home organized and keep it well maintained. In other words, you have to manage your home. Manage your home.
Again, off for another day at Crystal Lake.
They're always having good times together.
Wish my family were like that. We never do anything. Never have the time.
Neither do we.
You know, so many people are asking how the Millers manage to have so much fun as a family.
What's the answer? Is it money?
Or is it magic?
Neither. It's something they worked out together when they woke up to the fact that they wanted their family life to be fun.
Who doesn't?
But how did they work it out?
To understand, let's go back several months. Eavesdrop on the Millers one Friday evening before they got wise to themselves.
Mother, you promised to have dinner ready at 6 o'clock.
I'm sorry, Catherine. I just didn't finish my other work in time.
Oh, well. Dad's not home yet anyway. Nobody seems to care that I have a date at 7 o'clock.
You can still make it, dear. I'll do the dishes alone.
But you and Dad are going to the movies.
I'm too tired. I did all the washing today, and I cleaned your room, too. It really needs...
I meant to come home and clean it, Mother. But after school, there was a meeting...
Mother! I can't wear these slacks tonight. You said you'd press them.
I know, Harold, but I just didn't...
Why don't you press them yourself?
Say, where's my racket?
In my closet. I broke it. I meant to tell you.
You broke it? And me with an important match tomorrow. Why didn't you get it fixed?
Where would I get the money?
Money? Mother, I need a couple of dollars to take Mary out tonight.
I haven't any money, Harold. But you might have when he comes home.
Fine thing. Dinner late, tennis racket broken, no money for date, and no pants to wear. If this thing were a business, We go bankrupt, but fast.
That night, Mrs. Miller was thinking about what Harold said.
If this family were a business, in a way, we are a business. We have money to handle, just as a business has. Yet we never make it last from one payday to the next. But that's not all we can't seem to manage. Isn't there a better way to manage ourselves? Wouldn't we all be happier if we worked out a little system for living together in harmony? It's worth a try. I've called this first meeting of the Miller family to propose that we try to establish a definite program for managing our home so that we'll all get more out of it. More fun, more leisure, and more harmony.
I'm certainly in favor of those things. Harmony, leisure, fun.
Who isn't?
But how can we manage them?
We'll have to work out the full answer together. But for a start, I've made a list of points that will guide us. 1, schedule. 2, responsibilities. 3, privileges. And 4, finances.
Sounds impressive.
What do they mean?
How do they work?
Well, remember last Friday evening? It was nothing special. We've had plenty of differences just like it. I caused a good part of the trouble by not having dinner on time. We need to make a definite schedule and stick to it so we can all make plans accordingly.
I can be more careful about coming home in time for dinner or phoning when I'm going to be late.
Yes, but then I didn't have dinner ready, so
Because you took time to clean my room. That's something I should have done.
Well, that's my
point. Privileges.
Well, responsibilities and privileges always go together. If we accept responsibilities, then we acquire certain privileges.
Such as?
Well, such as... I can think of one. Privilege of having your private rights respected. Such as having someone ask your permission when she wants to borrow your tennis racket.
That's a general idea. Now, my 4th point is finances.
Yes, where are we going to get more money?
We don't.
You mean a budget?
Well, if we were a business, wouldn't we have a plan for spending our money?
That does it.
Well, I'd like to suggest that we adjourn for now and all give this some serious thought, and then get together for another meeting next Monday after dinner to discuss a plan for spending and all these other matters.
Good idea. I'd like to have these family meetings every week.
After we've worked this out, later on we can check up on how we're doing.
Well, it looks as though I really started something.
Say, Mom, you're swell.
That's how the Millers came to manage their home, so it would be more fun.
Does it really work?
These guides to home management, can my family use them?
Well, let me give you a few clues. Take the matter of schedule. Here's a breakfast scene at the Millers. Quiet, easy. By following a practical morning schedule, they're all ready in time for school and work. And in the evening, Mother has plenty of pep left to entertain friends, because by scheduling the work she does each day, she saves herself from doing too much. And when seasonal jobs are scheduled, Harold is glad to help his father. It doesn't happen that he has other important plans for the day. Of course, this is also a matter of responsibilities, which are divided up according to individual abilities and interests. Besides doing assigned jobs and caring for his own clothes and belongings, each is responsible for being considerate of the others. For instance, putting things back where others expect to find them. With responsibilities go privileges. Although the strength of the family lies in unity, each member has individual rights. The right to open his own mail, the right of privacy, to work alone, undisturbed by loud noises in the house, or by unwanted visitors, and the right to have opinions respected. This privilege the Millers protect in their family council meetings. Let's listen now for a few pointers on the fourth guide to home management, finances.
As you know, our financial position has greatly improved during the 6 months we've been planning our spending instead of letting our money slip away from us. However, during the past 2 months, what with Mother's operation and Catherine's dental work, our medical expenses have been very heavy, more than our budget could provide for. So the question is, where is the money going to come from?
Well, we could take our vacation money.
Oh, no. That's a big thing we've been saving for.
Well, can't we find the money in some other account?
No, not that much money.
Maybe a little bit here and a little bit there.
Well, I don't know.
Look, that new electric mixer we'd figured on buying, I can do without that.
No, Mother. You've been wanting that for so long.
Wait a minute. If Mother can do without her mixer, I'll skip my new dress. That is, if Mother will help me make over the one Aunt Grace gave me.
Of course I will, dear.
Well, if that's the way, I guess we can patch up the old seat covers in the car, put off getting new ones until next spring.
Sure thing. And if I can get a little help with my jobs around here, I'll be able to clear time to pick up some extra money working after...
The trick lies not in having the most have. That's how the Millers are using good home management to achieve a happier family life. Now, do you think they're successful?
Looks good to me.
To help make your home a well-managed home.
Hello and welcome back. Now that you know all about how to manage your home, it's time to learn our last lesson in this latest episode of How to Live. And it's all about how to do chores. And this last lesson is, most of the time, more often than not, it's your parents telling you or asking you to do the chores. They're not doing this out of spite or any type of anger. They're just doing it to improve and grow your work ethic. So it's always nice, keep in mind, and we're going to teach you now how to. Appreciate, with a hyphen, your parents.
And how he learned all about the things his mother and father do for him. This is Tommy's room, and he's thinking about his room. Can you guess what he's thinking? Look how neatly all of Tommy's clothes are hung in the closet. Yes, that's what Tommy's thinking about, how neat and straight his whole room is. Tommy's thinking hard, because he hasn't done a thing to his room since he left for school this morning. And when he left, the room didn't look like this at all, with toys on the shelves, bed neatly made, clothes put away. No, this morning it looked like this. Clothes scattered about, bed not made, toys on the floor. Yes, when Tommy went to school this morning, he left his room a mess. But now, everything is neat and straight. Now, how do you suppose that happens? And that's not all. Yesterday, Tommy tore the sleeve of his favorite cowboy shirt, and now it's mended as good as new. And this jacket had a button off. Now there's a new button. And you know, things of that sort don't happen just in Tommy's room. They happen all over the house. After breakfast this morning, the kitchen looked like this. Then, do you know what happened while Tommy was in school? Yes, the table was cleared, the dishes were washed and put away, and the whole kitchen was cleaned up. The same thing happens with the dirty clothes. They get washed and ironed and put away just like magic. And the groceries that come from the stores. Well, see that chicken? Here's the way it looks when Tommy sits down to supper. Things certainly do happen while Tommy's in school. Now what does Tommy see? Where's he going? Oh, here's Tommy's father, home from work. And here comes Mother to say hello. Tommy likes to be with his parents. And this evening is a little special, for it's the day for Tommy to receive his allowance. Every week, Father comes home with money for Tommy and for Mother. Money Father earns by going out and working for his family. After supper, the kitchen looks very much as it did after breakfast. Do you know who will clean it up? Tommy knows that when he gets up tomorrow morning, everything will be done. So, good night, Father. Good night, Mother. Good night. Forgot something very important. He'd allowance money in his bank before he forgets. But say, that's not very much money. And there are shows to go to. And that superatomic airplane to send for. And, well, there are so many things a boy likes to have money for. Tommy's going downstairs. He's going to ask Father if he can't have a little more money every week. And Tommy will get to see what Mother... Oh, they're doing those dirty dishes. And Mother is telling Father all about the things she did while he was at work. Just what did Mother do today? The first thing she did this morning was to fix up the kitchen. She cleared the table and washed the dishes and put the food away and made everything spick and span. Then she went up to Tommy's room to straighten it. There were train tracks and other toys to be picked up and put away. There was the bed to be made. There were clothes to be hung up, and some would need washing or mending. After that, Mother started on the ironing. Doing the family washing and ironing is a pretty hard job, but Mother does it regularly every week. And the cooking. Mother has to find time for good, nourishing meals for the whole family every day. She knows Tommy's appetite is getting bigger and bigger. Later, she did the mending. Well, there's Tommy's cowboy shirt and his jacket. Tommy could be more careful with his clothes. Those are just some of the things that Mother has to do. No wonder she's often tired at the end of the day. It seems Mother never stops working for the family. And what about Father? What does he do all day? Well, he had a particularly hard job today. One would do. But he did it anyway, because that's the way Father earns money, by doing the job. You see, it is the time he gives, the work he does, that he gets money for. And this is the money the family has to pay for the home and food, and give Tommy his allowance, too. In a way, the money is Father's work. At home, before supper, Father worked on the family budget. It isn't easy to figure out how best to spend the money, because there are always so many bills to pay, and so many things the family wants to buy. After supper, Father repaired a broken chair. Fixing things instead of buying new ones is a good way to save money. Yes, sir, Father and Mother do a good job of working together, like a team. They do so many things for the whole family. And that's something Tommy hadn't thought about before. A team. That's what a family is. A family is a team that works together. And Tommy would like to be on that team. He thinks it's something like a football team. Yes, Tommy likes to play on a team. And he knows that to have a good game, you must all work together. And every member of the team must do his share. Now Tommy wants to do his share for the family team. One thing, he can save his money, not ask Father for more, and so help the family buy more things they all want. And starting right now, he can help Mother by putting things away. Yes, from now on, things are going to be different with Tommy. After a week or so of trying, Tommy was really working on the team. When a piece of train track was broken, Tommy fixed it himself. So Father didn't have to fix it or spend money buying new track. Don't you think that's a good way to help your father and show him how much you appreciate all he does for you? And see how neat Tommy's room is. Tommy's gotten in the habit of picking things up and putting them away. And it makes him proud when Mother doesn't have to do any work in his room. Isn't that a good way to help your mother and show her how much you appreciate all she does for you? And Tommy has thought of other things he can do for his parents. It's really more fun than work when you know you're helping your mother and father. Wouldn't you like to do things for parents the way Tommy does? Then help to keep your room clean and neat. Keep your clothes on hangers. Try not to tear them or get them too dirty. Put things where they belong. Don't leave them on the floor when you're not using them. Help save money. Remember, someone has to work to earn it. Help your parents around the house. There are many jobs you can do that will make things easier for Father and Mother. Try to think up new ways you can help your family and ask your mother and father about them. They'll be glad that you want to do something that proves how much you love them and appreciate all the things they do for you. Your parents will appreciate your help, just as Tommy's father and mother do. And what's more, because Tommy has helped to save money, Mother and Father agree that he has earned a share of the money saved, a bigger allowance. That's mighty good. But what's better, Tommy knows he's a real member of his family team.
Hello, and I hope you enjoyed that last segment as much as I did. Well, now that you've learned how to appreciate your parents, you are all set to do those chores like a chore-doing wizard. I thank you for watching this latest edition of How to Live. I'm your host, your professor, your educator, and a PhD, Joe Gigliotti. I thank you for tuning in, and keep it simple, and we'll see you next time.